Present Productions presents the Math of ESP. Why it works, even if you don't believe in it. Okay, very quickly here, I just, I shut it off for the 15 minutes and I'm kicking it right back in so I can kind of keep my flow of what I'm saying here, okay? This whole censorship thing, okay? Now, on the one side, you're going to try and argue that, that censorship is good. You shouldn't have too much data. On the flip side of that, why shouldn't you? Why should you not be able to question for yourself? If, as an inventor person, I come up with some wonderful ideas and some wonderful inventions based off of the idea of looking at incorrect data, okay? Darn, I don't think I can do this anywhere quickly. The idea, okay, of something, and in my son's case, he will remember this hopefully. We were looking at CDs, and I talked about how I got to see if I can find a CD real fast here for this. I can cut this out. Where's the CD? Anywhere? No, I can't find it. Oops, wait a minute. No. A little stack down here, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Now, as I was saying, my son and I got in a conversation about CDs, okay, which are now defunct. Everybody uses memory cells and stuff like that, the flash drives and all. And I pointed out to him that, everybody thinks this is the side that they have to protect. And I explained to him that actually is this side you have to protect because this silver stuff is actually right here. If you scratch this, if you damage this, you actually damage your data. Whereas if you scratch this side, yeah, you might have problems because the lens can't read through the scratch very well. But the probability exists that you can polish a low-level scratch out, and there used to be tools that you could do to buy to actually do that. And we got discussing it and all of that. And my son suddenly said, "Well, Dad, what do you do to protect that side?" I kind of looked at it. Well, interesting. What would I do to protect this? And I ended up coming up with an idea of putting some clear vinyl on this. And we went through the whole process of the Invention Submission Corporation and, giving them the idea and laying stuff out and talking to people and paying them. I forget how much I paid, somewhere around $1,000 or something like that, to get this whole invention type thing started. Now, I had given them the warning that, because I'm an inventor and I don't like dealing, I really don't like legal court systems and all that. They're quite annoying because people get up there and like to rant and rave lies in people's faces and waste a lot of time because that's how a lawyer gets paid. He gets paid by the hour. So the longer he can keep you arguing, the more money in his pocket. I said, if something else comes up, can the idea, just drop it cold. And that is what ended up happening. We found that somebody else had come up with a similar idea. They had never done anything with it. And I just dropped it flat right there. And as far as I know, in the markets, it's never actually been marketed. Nobody ever came up and started marketing the fact that you could put a piece of clear on here and cover this over. Now you can buy printers, and make your own labels and produce your own music CDs or movie CDs or whatever in home. And I have made them in print shops and stuff for people. So the Avery label does actually make a label to put on here, but they didn't have just a basic clear label that you put on to cover it to protect it from damage. Okay, so that is a very real instance of taking a false assumption and coming up with a proper application for it. So to say that it is a wrong idea and you need to censor out false data is a fallacy in and of itself because you are denying yourself the chance of looking at the other side of something. How is something different? How can I change it? How could I make something correct out of a false assumption? Okay? So you really don't want to censor stuff. You really don't want somebody coming up and saying there's only A. There's never B. There's never a C. Okay? Because by doing that, you are immediately creating C, censorship. You are locking yourself into a very limited, narrow view. You are putting on blinders, so you only see directly in front of you. You don't see anything around. Okay? This is rather important. Now, an example of how this works today, there is so many people out there selling the idea that they have the wowest, latest, fantasticest idea of how to do stuff and how to sell stuff, you know. Like I said, I get emails all the time from marketing agencies, okay? And everybody everywhere is got the latest, and they actually call them master classes right now. If you check backwards in my feed, at least last year, I'm pretty certain it was in about the middle of 2016, I put up a post on LinkedIn about how the latest craze is to claim you are a master class. Okay? Yeah. 18 months later, master class this, master class that, and it's actually started to die off in some of the business world, but it is very heavy in the email marketing, almost spam level, where everybody is now selling you a master class. Now, and I did this just this morning. I watched a person's video about how they were supposed to be live. The person was actually smart enough to delay themselves in asking a question and then seeing answers on screen. But sometimes you listen to these people and they say, quick, type in from where you're at. Oh, look, John in Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C. And they're reading it so fast that you know that they had it in front of them. They did not actually see anybody respond because nobody can respond in milliseconds over an internet. Okay? It is possible to respond. Yes, it is possible to get it quite quickly. But for somebody to say, tell me where you're at, oh, look! And they're not even giving themselves time to look down there. They're not even giving somebody time to type in an answer. Okay? It's a fake movie. It's pre-recorded. I shouldn't say fake. It's pre-recorded, so the person is just going down. And in most of those, you will see them do it repeatedly throughout their thing. They are trying to hit in exactly a certain time length, so they do not want to waste any seconds waiting for answers to appear on screen. The person today was going through, and they were talking about how, what was it? I think they were Instagram, but they were talking about having likes and followers and all of this, and two things came up. The first, all of their examples, it was a woman presenter. She was a woman who was probably in the low end of her 30s. She was very pretty, a nice figure, a decently dressed. Whenever she showed a picture of herself, she never showed herself live on screen. But all of the pictures she showed was, she was a well-dressed, well-presented lady. And all of the people that she had, that she declared as examples of using her system and being very, very beneficial in being able to go out and market themselves to other people and to these high-end clients. Every last one of them were young ladies who were very cute and pretty. Now, nothing against cute and pretty women. I happen to like women. I think they're quite cute. There are some that are like me, old and ugly too. But at no point in time did this person ever present anybody over 35 years of age as part of their list. Okay, the women who went out and found these people who were high-end connection people were also young men who were, you know, in their you know, middle to latter 20s. They had the athletic build look to them. They were very nice and clean and photogenic and all of that. So again, she is using the younger generation as a way of trying to sell yourself. Okay, I'm an old fart. I'm ugly as heck. I can't go out there and sell myself as something cute and sexy. I ain't gonna in the first place. I never really have. But, you know, think about how many 50-year-old women there are out there in the world right now that are either divorced or, you know, their husbands dropped dead of a heart attack from working too hard. They would definitely like to make some money right now and know how they can go out and connect with people and make connections that are actually viably suitable to them. Yeah. But what do you have? You have these people going out and showing presentations, and in the one instance of this, she actually put that this girl had just gotten out of graphic design graphic design student, just out of college. You know, she wasn't even had her business open for 6 months yet. And this cute husky guy picked her up and decided that she was the best graphics person ever, and he went out and told, you know, he has thousands upon thousands of followers. Well, like I said, that's fine and dandy for the cute woman. That's fine and dandy for the night, you know, the athlete, the stud, or whatever. But it's not real. And to top it all off, in 1971, I was told that the best way to sell something is always have it end in 95, 96, 97, maybe 98. Her price tag was not $9,000, folks. Right now, for $197. Yeah. Almost 50 years old, I've been hearing the same 1995 Earl Scheib paint job is the way to sell. So that's why I say you don't need any fancy math. You don't need anybody telling you what's real or not real. You need to use your own brain and think about it and look and see what's going on. How many miles? Oh, not even that long. Cool.